Today's lesson is about conditional statements and what conditional statements are. A conditional statement is in a sentence that is in the form of if something, comma, then something else. The portion after if is referred to as the hypothesis. The portion after then is referred to as conclusion. And the letters that we use for if then is P and Q. So the portion after if is called hypothesis. The portion after Q is called conclusion. The hypothesis is the subject of the sentence. It's what the whole sentence is about. The conclusion is the outcome. This is kind of a type of sentence that has terms and conditions attached. If you do this, then you should do this for me. Or if I do this for you, you owe me this. So let's kind of read through it. It says underline hypothesis and circle the conclusion. We're just going to use highlighters instead to make it a little bit more visual. If you eat breakfast, then you will feel better at school. The hypothesis portion is the portion after if. So the hypothesis is you eat breakfast. The conclusion of this sentence, or the outcome, or what happens, is you feel better at school. Notice how if and then we did not highlight. So let's go ahead and talk about this last problem. If two lines are perpendicular, then they form right angles. Our hypothesis is the part after if, but before then. So two lines are perpendicular. If that happens, if that's our subject, the outcome is they form right angles. It's easy to identify hypothesis and conclusion when it's already kind of labeled for you. So let's go ahead and write this last one in the form of if-then statement. If we want it in if-then form, that's the fancy way to just say conditional. So the first thing we have to do is identify the subject or the hypothesis. All students at Hermitage take an English class. Hermitage is just a high school name. This is just a general equation. So this sentence is about students at Hermitage. The outcome of me being a student at Hermitage is that I have to take an English class. But I can't write it just if all students at Hermitage then take an English class. That's not correct grammar. So all I have to do is adjust my sentence so it makes sense. So I'm going to refer to this as like if you are a student. If you are a student at Hermitage, comma, the outcome of me being a student at this particular high school is then you take an English class. The thing about conditional statements is that you can't change the meaning. You can only adjust to make it grammatically correct. So I haven't changed the fact that I'm a student at Hermitage High or Hermitage School. Hermitage could be an elementary school. Again, I just did it right there. I called it Hermitage High School. I don't know if it's a high school. It's a school though. Then my outcome is you take an English class. I haven't put my own thoughts into it. I didn't say if you are a sophomore at Hermitage or if you are in 5th grade at Hermitage. I just know if I'm a student, then I take an English class. So you can't put your own personal feelings into conditional statements. Remember, let's go back up to the top real quick. Conditional statements are something that is an if-then form. The portion after if is the hypothesis. The portion after then is the conclusion.